we're going to figure out, could we come up with something for tangent A plus B? Justin, I don't think you remember this paper over here, so you have it, and you've never touched it again.
Well, because I've been good and I've been writing paper.
Your hood cannot be up. Not work. Alright, so what are we gonna do? What do you know about tangent?
My ears are cold.
It equals cotangent, right? Or something.
What happens to this?
It was sine over cosine.
I can't do
Oh, yeah.
that?
No.
That's not up.
Do you want me to make you take that under sweatshirt completely off?
I mean, no. But it's school approved.
Oh, tangent 90 minus theta equals cotangent.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
We're not
It's sine over cosine.
There's where I wanna go.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Not approved. Alright, so tangent is sine over cosine, right? So if this was tan theta, you would write sine theta over cosine theta. But what's my theta?
A plus B.
So can we write sine A plus B?
What identity is this going under?
Do what?
Is this going under sum and difference?
This will be sum and difference for tangent.
So you do like both of the things, like the sine one and the cosine one on top.
Mhm. Okay. So Tyler's already figured out. Do you have a formula, an equation, really, for sine A plus B?
Yep.
Yes. We need to write those down again. I need you writing them every time I write them, just so you've got them. It should be on in your notes on your piece of paper. What is sine A plus B?
Sine A cos B plus sine B cosine.
What about cosine A plus B?
Cosine, or cosine A,
Yes.
cosine B, minus sine A, sine B.
Cosine, cosine minus sine, sine. Now, ultimately, I really don't like all of that. Right? I really don't. And I'm going to verify just so that I don't do it incorrect. We're going to divide. We're going to divide. That's what I thought. I was not 100% sure. If we can do what? Now this is specific and I don't think you would ever come up with it. Okay? So I'm gonna ask. You probably would. I just like squashed that. But you had it on the tip of your
There goes
tongue.
my dreams.
No, say it, Molly. I'll say it.
I don't think.
Say it.
I think it's right.
Me
Do it.
too. We believe in you.
Do it.
It's really probably not right.
It's okay.
Do the roar.
Go for it.
Daddy.
We'll still love you, Molly.
Can you cancel the cos B and the sine B?
The only time you can cancel is if there's the exact same term in each piece, in each term.
I mean,
Why can't you
they
write
have the
a
same
sine and
coefficients.
cosine?
So that
Oh wait,
is-
never mind. This is
Oh no.
It's okay, Molly. You had more than I did.
It's okay. We're so proud of you.
Why don't you do?
Can we? Because ultimately, I'm wanting to turn things back to look like tangent.
Oh, you want
What
to?
about
I-
2 sine A plus B plus 2 cosine A plus
So you
That's
sine
not what that
A
is.
over cosine.
Could we divide every term by one term? Could we divide every term by cosine A, cosine B?
No.
If I do it to every piece, is that allowed?
If
I mean,
really
you
wanted
can,
to,
but I don't see
Yeah.
how.
But now, let's go through this. Trust me for a moment.
Trust
To
me.
divide everything. So here, I'm going to rewrite the whole thing again. Sine A cosine B plus sine B cosine A. Oh, I don't want to put at that line very close. Divided by, so I'm leaving space because I'm going to write what I'm going to divide by. Cosine A, cosine B, minus sine A, sine B. Now, I want to divide, if I divide every single piece by cosine A, cosine B, divide by cosine A, cosine B, divide by cosine A,
Wait, why?
cosine B. You're going to see in just a moment. Cosine A, cosine B. Now if I take each piece and simplify. If I take each piece and simplify, that first piece, sine A, cosine A, over cosine A, cosine B.
Sine A over cosine.
What is sine A divided by cosine A? What is sine over cosine?
Tangent.
Tangent. Tangent what? A. What's cosine B divided by cosine B?
1.
They cancel. It's simply a 1. So now this first piece I've turned into simply tangent A. What about the second piece?
Can you do tangent AB?
No.
Leave it?
No.
Oh, it's gonna be tan B.
Okay. So what about this piece?
Wait, why?
What do you mean?
Cosine, cosine.
Wait. What are you asking? I'm still talking about this piece. Have you moved on?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Purple piece is done. This entire thing is simplified.
Mhm.
Next, let's move on to this piece. What can we combine or what can cancel? Does everybody see a cosine A and a cosine A? That can
Oh, never mind.
cancel. So now what is sine B over cosine B? Tan B. Plus tangent with whatever B is. What about the denominator?
That one's just gonna cancel out.
That's just canceling out to be what? 1. So this piece is simply 1. What about, I don't know, what other color do I not use? Let's see. What about this piece? Oh, wait, nothing cancels. Aww.
Doesn't it make like
But
Can you do
could
tangent
we-
AB?
tangents?
What is sine A over cosine A?
Tangent.
Tangent A, what's sine B over cosine B?
Tangent.
So, and we have to have our negative sign, and then also minus tan A times tangent B.
It's like blood type.
So this is tangent
You lost
A plus B equals tan A plus tangent B divided by 1 minus tan A times tan B.
So is that your answer?
That is our
That's your
sum
sum.
identity.
I feel like my issues with these is like not gonna know when I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Because like sometimes you feel like you're done, but you don't really know. You feel like you maybe could do something more. But
Yeah,
you
that's a
don't know.
simplified. This is really just going to be a formula.
So this is about as deep as she'll go.
Okay. That's a sum. Could we find a difference? All you're doing is deriving a formula. Okay. Could we derive a formula for tangent A minus B? Yes, let's go ahead. What about tangent A minus B? Tangent is still what? Can you do this one on by yourself?
Yeah, let's do it.
Why do I need to go back to the last page?
Just check.
Okay. You probably want me to scroll. Yeah. So tangent A minus B. What are we doing with tangent A minus? Again, what is tangent? Sine over cosine. So this is really sine A minus B divided by cosine A minus B. Yes? Can we write our formulas? What's sine A minus B? And then cosine A minus B. So really, what has changed? Those signs flip.
So, can you just use the same formula with flip side?
Are we going to do the same thing? Now, what I asked you to do to derive it is not just do it and flip the sign. I still want to see you write it.
I still don't understand why you chose to. It made sense when you did it, but why did you divide it by cos A cos B?
Do you want to divide it by something different? I mean, if I divide by sine, you're going to end up with stuff with sine in the denominator. It's going to be cotangent. Okay? If I divide by cosine and cosine,
So
I know
just have to pick
cosine is going to
one?
be in the denominator for everything.
Uh-huh.
So even if I choose sine A, cosine B, there's going to be some with sines in the denominator.
Mhm.
Okay? And that's going to turn into cotangent things.
So you just chose one of the pieces? Oh, okay.
Really, you could choose any piece. And you're going to come up with a different type of formula that will still be the same.
Okay.
If we choose dividing by cosine A, cosine B, we know cosine will be in the denominator. Therefore, it'll turn back to tangents, not cotangents. So if we divide everything again by cosine A, cosine B, cosine B, divide cosine A, cosine B. And things start canceling, yes? These cancel. Sine over cosine is simply tangent. And the next one, cosine A is canceled. We have sine minus sine over cosine, which is sine B over cosine B, which is tan B. Reminds me of the riddle. Did I do the riddles in geometry with you guys? What's the guy in the that goes sits too long at the beach? He's a tan gent. He's a tangent.
Oh, that's
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know. Can we do it?
I was trying to remember which year. I've done it a couple times, but the last one I did, they got very angry at me because they couldn't figure them out. So here we have 1, and then we have plus tan
Yeah, they're
A.
running.
Is that Sherlock Holmes? Tan A minus B. So this group's much quieter than the one this morning, though.
Oh, so
Yeah, that was right.
Yeah, my calculus kids were not happy.
Well,
well,
Yeah.
we
they did it
did
last year, so I don't care.
No, I don't remember the
I don't think they
calculus. They didn't.
Yeah,
They did.
didn't. No, they said they didn't. I think Miss Burke got it mixed up.
Somebody did it.
Elizabeth said they didn't.
I don't. I don't remember the runnings in the hall and let's be loud for.
Well, I was walking the whole time. Casey was the only one running.
Except when you tried to steal food.
That was
The
good.
issue is the loudness.
I was probably being loud. I'm sorry.
In general, we don't think about other people and taking tests and stuff. so we have a sum and a difference identity for tangent. So you have sine and cosine, sum and difference. Now you have tangents. What about a double angle for tangent? We're not going to use double angles very often. Tangent. Well, anytime you have a difference, we didn't do difference for any of them. Because the difference is going to have zeros on all of them. That's why we did not do any of the difference. We want to do a double, which is when we're adding them.
Oh, A plus A.
So A plus A makes a 2A, which is a double angle. So this is just simply flipped signs. So the sum will have an addition on top and the subtraction in the bottom. You can think about that as cosine is in the denominator, and it's going to be the opposite of whatever it is. Tangent is sine over cosine. Sine difference is a subtraction here and a subtraction here. Cosine, if it's a subtraction, then it's a difference. It's the addition, sorry. Okay? So that stays with it. Your subtraction's on top.
The top of a fraction is on the numerator, right?
Yes.
You know sometimes like you'll say a word and it doesn't sound right. That's what just happened. Just making sure that's what it's called.
Your numerator, your denominators. Yeah. Alright, so what about a tangent double angle identity? Tan A plus A.
I guess the will be 2 tangent A squared over 1 minus 2 tangent
Did you write that out?
A. No.
Okay, so let's write out what is the formula for a sum? What is tangent A plus B? What is A plus A? What do you have? A plus tangent B, but our B this time is A, divided by 1 minus.
Wait, that's a plus. Oh, there's a plus. No, it's not. Oh, yeah.
There is a plus.
I didn't write down the plus.
It has to be there. And you're adding on top and you're multiplying on the bottom. So what is tan A plus tan A?
2 tangent.
And 1 minus?
Tangent
No, it's tangent times tangent on the bottom.
Or
Second
Tan
thing.
A. Oh, tan squared A.
Tan squared. This is tangent 2A. Double angle identity for tangent. So if you've got different places, and those are all the ones we're going to do. We're not going to do any more. We're not going to pull any reciprocal identities. We're going to be doing sine, cosine, and tangent. And that is it. Okay? Alright.
Objectives on that board every day.
This quarter, yes. Yeah. In general. Homecoming week, they got a little off.
That week was
that week was
crazy.
whack.
And this week's been weird. With all this snow and stuff. And, like,
Yeah.
really-
So
It's been a long
geometry has said tests today for 3 days in a row. They started it on Tuesday, then Wednesday, then Thursday they finally finished it. So they're running by y'all made my door go crazy too.
It's just strong with it.
That's what me and Justin were doing.
Wait, y'all have a field trip? Or they have a field trip?
They're on a field trip today, but they've got a test Monday.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that's
8th graders. Yeah. Alright. So, can we work a problem?
We can.
We can.
Should we?
Should we? Can you possibly tell me what tan 75 degrees is?
Separate to 30 plus 45.
So Emily wants to separate it into 30 and 45. Does it matter which one is first? 30 plus 45 or 45 plus 30?
Doesn't matter.
It does not. This is really tangent. So our A, we're going to say is 45, our B is 30, or opposites, whichever one you want. Which one are you going to use? What formula? 10A plus 10B divided by what? Minus 10A times 10B. What am I doing in this problem to start working it? A triangle. What type of triangle?
You're gonna need both.
I'm probably gonna need both. My 30.
45 is just one.
Do you know that tan? Does everybody know tan 45 is simply just one?
On me.
What? So I drew both triangles. So now we plug in tan 45 is simply 1. Tan 30, square root of 3 over 3, you already rationalized. Divided by 1 minus 1 times. Whoa, what?
Oh, so it's just 1 plus.
So 1 plus, so if we wanted to common denominator, can we do a common denominator and add? Because you can't add numbers if they don't have common denominators. So I need 3, this 1 to become something over 3, right? So 3 over 3, so you have 3 plus the square root of 3 over 3, lots of 3's, divided by what's 1, which is 3, again, 3 minus the square root of 3 over 3. Now when you flip and multiply by the reciprocal, you end up with what? When I flip, so we're multiplying 3 plus the square root of 3 over 3 times 3 divided by 3 over minus the square root of 3. Whew, lots of 3's. Does anything cancel? The 3's, the denominator and numerator, there's both a 3 there. Those cancel. This tangent is generally not fun. It looks like it should be easy. Then I'm going to go back over here. See, I'm going this way to say 3 plus the square root of 3 divided by 3 minus the square root of 3. Yay, are we done?
No, you have
Why not?
in the denominator.
Oh, there's a square root in the denominator.
Conjugate.
How do we get rid of it? We must conjugate.
But you have to multiply by the square root of 3 or
If we multiply the top and the bottom simply by the square root of 3,
0 in the
no. If we multiply, okay, this is my thought bubble, don't actually do it. If we multiply by the square root of 3 over the square root of 3, you still have to distribute.
both of them.
So you're left with 3 on the square root of 3.
So that one.
Minus 1, minus 3. You cannot just multiply by square root of 3 over 3.
So
But what do we need to do? Brian has said it, and we're going to say it again.
Conjugate.
You have to conjugate. What are we going to conjugate? Meaning, what are we going to multiply by? 3 plus the square root of 3 over 3 plus the square root of 3. Because in our denominator, our middle terms will cancel, because that's where the square root of 3 will be. But on the top, we still have to FOIL. So 3 times 3, then the outside 3 times the square root of 3. Can I go ahead and combine those? Are we quick enough for that?
6.
This and this, the outside and the inside that are both 3 on the square root of 3, plus 3 on the square root of 3.
6.
my outside and my inside, my middle terms will combine to be a 6 on the square root of 3. And then, which I'm going to have to rewrite again so it doesn't matter. What's 3 on the square root of 3 times the square root of 3?
3.
Simply 3. Denominator? 9 minus 3, which is 6. So we have what on top? 9 plus 3 is 12. Plus 6 on the square root of 3.
And divided.
2 plus 3.
Can we cancel? What reduces?
12 over
12 over 6 and then 6.
Let's get good color. So there's a 6 in everything. So this becomes a 1, and that becomes a 1, and that becomes a 2. You cannot reduce unless that in the denominator can reduce with every piece in the numerator. Because ultimately we could have factored a 6 out of the top and then canceled those out. So our answer to 1075 is simply 2 plus square root of 3. To get that answer from all of that. Hopefully we'll be done with chapter 5 and we'll have a test next week. Maybe at the very end.
Maybe we'll have snow next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sawyer's already talking to the Brown Hall about more winter.
See, I don't want more winter, but if